Excuse me. Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Wednesday. I am your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into your future. Now, we have some stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. As you can see by the screen, obviously showing, it is time for the October 2025 weather forecast. Again, if you're not looking at your screen, go on and look at the screen, because I think that the little animation that I have here is pretty cool. The October 2025 forecast. We have made it to October. And so hopefully everyone had a fantastic September as we now moving on into this new month. Now, we're not only going to talk about the forecast for October, we're going to talk about the current weather, what's going on right now. Also, we will talk about our forecast for tonight, just for tonight's weather in general. Not only that, but then we also will talk about the tropics, because obviously the tropics are doing its thing right now. We have a new area that we're watching for right now inside of the tropics, so that's what we're looking for there. And also, not only that, but some other stuff as well that we'll get into as we go later into the forecast. So, it's going to be a pretty packed night tonight. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go on and do so. We've had 6 people tune in so far tonight, and we only have 4 likes. So if you are a part of that too, that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free, and you can change your mind anytime. So what's going on right now throughout the state currently? Currently, right now, there is nothing, nothing going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina. Right now, that was expected. You know, we weren't really expecting too much. But what about what's going on throughout the entire U.S.? Rainfall goes on from Florida to Mississippi to Louisiana, going into Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and then maybe even inside of northern Minnesota, maybe even northeastern Kansas. We have some rainfall as well. But other than that, everyone else looks dry. I mean, it looks relatively quiet right now throughout the states. Now, as we go into our cloud cover, we in fact do have some coastal areas that may receive some cloudiness. Same thing with other parts, like maybe in the PD, maybe in the Midlands, Low Country, Upstate. All these areas not near the coastal regions are as well. And patchy clouds and fog, especially in the Blue Ridge area, with 2 to 5 miles of visibility. So very, very low visibility up there. And even if you go into that cloud cover for the future, let me go ahead and go to the past one real quick. As you go ahead and push this forward, you can see cloud cover moves in. I mean, you can see it near the coastal areas, moving it through the Midlands, moving it through the Low Country, as well as you move into like later tonight. But as you go into early tomorrow morning, some of that cloud cover moves its way through. And you can kind of see some of that fog starting to develop up there inside of the mountain. You can kind of see it up there. You see how the clouds staying kind of like just one spot up there in the upstate, kind of. That is indeed fog. And as we move more into the afternoon, like late morning, early afternoon, you're starting to see some more cloud cover move into the coastal South Carolina area. Current temperatures right now, 72 in Columbia, as well as 70 in Orangeburg, 71 in Somerville, as well as 70 in Georgetown, 71 in Murrells Inlet, as well as 70 in Myrtle Beach, 67 in Conway, and 69 in North Myrtle Beach. We also do have around 71 in Aiken, 68 over there near Greenwood, and around 73 also near Charleston. Moving up here to the upstate, you have around 67 in Greenville, 67 in Spartanburg, as well as 66 in Gaffney, 69 in Clemson, and 67 in York and Rock Hill, 68 in Anderson. Low temperatures for tonight. You have around 58 in Anderson, 57 in Greenville, as well as 56 in Spartanburg, 54 in Rock Hill, and even 55 in Newberry, 56 in Columbia, 56 also in Sumter, 56 in Barnwell, 57 in Orangeburg and Walterboro, 62 in Charleston, and 65 in Hilton Head Islands, 58 inside of Georgetown, and 60 in Myrtle Beach. So, look at all these cool temperatures that will be coming through as we move through later tonight, going into early tomorrow morning. I mean, the highest low temperature you're probably going to get is around the mid 60s. That's about it. No rainfall is expected at all today. Again, no rainfall is expected at all today, and so that is a good thing. It's a good thing to get some dryness, but unfortunately for the drought, not such a great thing. So it's kind of like an in-between. Kind of like an in-between, good but also bad at the same time. Crazy score for tonight. We're at a 12 inside the calm category. The calm category. It's dry, cool, definitely less humid. The only thing that's really gonna happen is patchy clouds and fog. Patchy fog possible up there in the upstate, up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. But other than that, that's it. That's all that's really gonna happen tonight. SPC outlook: no thunderstorms are expected tonight. Obvious. Same thing with tomorrow and Friday. No thunderstorms are expected as we move through the next 3 days. Excessive rainfall, though, that changes a little bit. Going into now day 4, this is right here on Saturday. Isolated flash flooding is possible as you go through the lower low country, like coastal, from Beaufort, Port Royal, Hardyville, Hilton Head, Bluffton, Edisto Beach, Seabrook Island, all these areas. Isolated flash flooding is possible. And on day 5, which is Sunday, from downtown Charleston to Hollywood to Blountville to Gillisonville, Ridgeland, all those areas, and then the areas that I just called out, also has a chance for some isolated flash flooding on Sunday. Now, what about the models? We're going to start off here inside of the short term first. And if we go in and start off here at the 9 o'clock time frame, you can see that pretty much for the most part, exactly what we've been talking about. Nice and dry right now. We're not really expecting too much. If you can't even see the screen, there we go. You can see nothing going on as we move through even tomorrow. Yes, you see like some little isolated green dots moving in maybe into like the coastal areas, but for the most part, you're not really seeing anything too widespread, and so that's why we're not going to see any sort of accumulation just as we move through tomorrow as well. Now, as you go into even further into the future, you can see for the most part that precipitation stays off to the coast. As you move into around October the 3rd, look at all of this rainfall that continues to just move its way out from the Atlantic into places like Georgia, into places like Florida, completely missing over the state. And definitely, it could definitely hit some areas that definitely do need the rainfall in terms of droughts right now. That would be very, very much appreciated, but it's deciding it wants to keep us mainly dry for now. Now, you can see like some little green areas, but again, that's just like a little stray, isolated, like drizzle. That's nothing too much that you really have to watch for. Now, what about just the long term in general? So the next like 300 to 400 hours. As you go in and push this forward, you can see the coastal areas really do get their rainfall as you move into around October the 5th. And then the 6th comes along, and we start to get some more rainfall that moves through. Even as you go through October the 8th and the 9th, you're starting to see that cold front move down into the state. Then that'll move its way out to sea, going into around like October the 10th and the 11th. You can still see nice and dry out there right now, nice and dry. Continue all the way to the 13th, the 14th. For the most part, things start to, chill out. Then once you get to October the 16th, you can see that thing in the bottom right corner of your screen. I don't know if you're looking at the screen right now. You can see that this little storm right here that decides it wants to try and do something. Now, that's as far as this model can go out. So this is as far as we can get. But I will say that it is still plus 300 hours out, plus 350, 380 hours out. So you still have to take this with a grain of salt because it's way too far out. There's no way to even know if this will even happen or not, but it's there. The signal is there, and so that's why we're still going to have to watch for it either way. Now, I'm going to go back, just wind back in time a little bit, go back to October the 8th, because if you go on and look at the actual thermodynamics and we go on and talk about as this cold front moves through, you can see the cold air it brings. It brings a good amount of cold air as you go all the way through the 11th. But then as you get to around like the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, look at all this warm air that still is here, even as you go into like October, like the 17th, for example. So even though, you have this warm air, that's here, and that cold front moves through, it doesn't really seem to do much. Yes, we will have some cool days for sure. Even as you go into the actual shaded temperatures, you can see. I mean, you're gonna have low temperatures in the like the high 50s to the coastal areas, all the way to the high 40s to the very inland areas in around like 200 hours from now. But I mean, even as early as October the 3rd, you're gonna have temperatures down to the 50s. I mean, we already do right now, but these temperatures are starting to get down. But does that mean that the heat is done? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The heat is not done. We're still going to see, I mean, even as we go into mid-October, low temperatures in the mid-60s, hot, maybe even to the low 70s. So we're still not done with this warm, hot air. You still have to keep that in mind. But I don't think it's going to get blazing hot into the 90s, feel like temperatures near 100. Unfortunately, down there for like Georgia and Florida, that might be it for them. But I mean, for us, highest I'm seeing is the mid 80s, maybe getting close to the high 80s, but I'm not really seeing anything in terms of, oh, we're going to be in the 90s. It's going to feel like 100, 110 degrees outside. I'm not seeing that on this model over here, but around us, that's obviously a bit of a different story. But that's all that I want to say here for the temperatures as well. We are about to talk about October's forecast, but first I want to talk about the tropics because we have a new area. Imelda first, 100 mile per hour storm still. Imelda is expected to bring damaging hurricane force wind and large and damaging waves to Bermuda when it passes near or over the island later tonight into early Thursday. Significant hurricane force gusts are likely across Bermuda even after the center passes. Heavy rainfall could cause flash flooding across Bermuda tonight into Thursday, and swells and high surf from Imelda are expected to produce dangerous marine conditions and rip currents along much of the east coast of the United States and the western Atlantic during the next several days. And that is true. Going and look at rip currents for tonight. High risk of rip currents as we go through tonight. Tomorrow, same story. And again, just another day where we will have some high rip currents as we go through the day tomorrow. But for the most part, though, I mean, except for, will this thing do anything else? Not really, except for just cause some rip currents for us. Now, we have a new area out here. This new area now, disturbance 1, has a 20% chance of forming, but it says a tropical wave is expected to move off the coast of Africa over the next day or two. Thereafter, this wave is forecast to interact with another disturbance in the eastern tropical Atlantic, and some slow development of the combined feature is possible as the system moves west to west-northwest around 15 to 20 miles per hour. That has a 0% chance of forming. Yes, a 0% chance of forming over the next 48 hours. But then as you go into the actual next 7 days, it has only a 20%. But here's what the actual ensembles look like for it right now. As you go on, you can see there goes the system down here to the bottom right side of your screen. Then we have this other area, but that's going to fizzle out, go away. But here's the main one that we're watching for right here. It just moves its way out to the west, and it pretty much just scatters. Same thing what we've been seeing for just a lot of these model runs. You have some that curve early, you have some that curves, late, stays down near the Bahamas, down near Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, all these areas, the Windward, Leeward Islands, those areas could potentially be impacted. It's still 10 days out, and it's still not even at South Carolina by this point. So, I mean, this is a good at least 2 weeks out before we really have to be like, okay, yeah, for sure, it's definitely going to hit us. But for now, still a long ways out. So even though the last storm decided it didn't want to do anything and decided to change last minute, that still should not mean that you keep your guard down. You definitely should continue to keep all your hurricane plans in place because hurricane season is not done until December the 1st. That is the day when hurricane season finally is over. So we still have a good little bit left. But now that is out of the way, let's go on and talk about the month of October because it is a new month, October the 1st, and so we have to talk about this month's forecast. So starting off first, going over here into the eastern U.S., we're going to talk about temperatures first, and we're going to start off right back here, October. So starting off right here, we in fact do we in fact do have we will in fact have an above average October in terms of temperatures. We will in fact have an above temperature average October. So that means, does that mean that we will not receive, any cool air? Absolutely not. Does not mean that, but it does mean that in terms of on average temperatures for this month, it will be above average. And then in terms of precipitation as well, it's kind of be cut in half. Kind of cut in half. Low country, Grand Strand, PD area, coastal areas especially, definitely is going to be above average. Now, this does not take into effect tropical systems because obviously tropical systems, we cannot forecast them, obviously a full 31 days out. So this does not include tropical systems. So, tropical system obviously could come in and drop a lot of rainfall, and that would indeed, change it a little bit. So, but if you look in the middle though, Midland, you have the western PD area. That area is the more just normal. You're going to receive your normal amount of precipitation in October. And then the yellow up there in the upstate, you're actually going to see below average. That's below average rainfall for this month. And so for the drought, obviously, it's not great. We do, in fact, have a drought going on, not in the upstate, not right now. Could that happen? Potentially. I mean, especially if you get above average temperature and below average rainfall, that could definitely occur. But the areas that are going to get the most rainfall, obviously the coastal areas, are not even inside of a drought right now. Not even inside of an abnormally dry right now. So even though they're going to get potentially the most rainfall, I mean, they're not really going to need it as much as some of these other areas. Now, will these other areas get a bunch of rainfall? It's definitely still possible. It's definitely still possible. I mean, forecasting October 28th from now is definitely going to be hard. We don't know what type of system is going to be moving through. If it's going to be a nice sunny day. So that's why just these averages right here, they're averaged on just trends and patterns. They're not based off of exact forecast. And so you have to keep that in mind because these can change at any given moment. But that's all really for the averages. I do want to go on real quick and just see how much rainfall or what the temperatures are looking like just as you go through the first part of October. I mean, we pretty much already went through it already, but just to show it again, for the most part, I mean, you're going to see those temperatures probably, in the 50s for a good amount of areas for your lows. And so it's definitely going to get cooler. Definitely will get cooler, but the warm air, like I said, is not done. And so when I say this will be an above average temperature month, the first half of the month definitely shows it. Why? I mean, you're still having temperatures in the mid to maybe even high 80s for some over inside of like the Midlands, for example. Now, 100 to 200 hours out, so things can change. And then as the cold front moves through, that definitely drops the temperatures a lot. Drops them down to the high 40s, low 50s, mid 50s, high 50s for the coastal areas. But that warm air comes almost just right back. And there goes, I don't know if you can see it that well, but if you look out into the Atlantic, you can kind of see like this little spiral. That's the actual storm that we were just looking at earlier. That's around 300 hours out. So that could also impact what in the world happens. But that's it in terms of temperature wise. What's going on, just if you want to look at total accumulated precipitation as you move through October the 17th, I mean, you can see for the most part, I mean, it looks like a good, I mean, maybe 2, 3, 4 inches max is what I'm seeing here. As we go through October the 17th, that's not a lot at all, even if you double it. Not too much. I mean, it definitely is a good amount. 2 to 3 inches of rainfall, but it's the fact that it's in kind of more of a 17-day span. And will that help out with the drought? Absolutely. But again, you see it going more throughout those coastal areas, the areas that don't really need the rainfall as much as some of these inland areas. And even if you go into the drought area over here, where my cursor is, right now, I mean, that's only around an inch of rainfall as you move through the next 17 days. That's definitely not going to get rid of the drought just at all. And that might, take a toll, get rid of some of the areas, but unless things right here change, you're not really going to see too much change. I mean, this right here is over a 17-day span. But that's all that I have really for the first half. I mean, I can't really go too much further out just because obviously it's a full month. It's a full 30 days. So I can't really do too much except for just say, well, it's going to be below average, it's going to be above average, it's going to be normal, it's going to be just whatever it is at this point. But that's all that I have for this month. So let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day. I did. Good evening to you. He also said started off cloudy, but ended up with some sun. Same thing over here, I believe. For the most part, it started off either cloudy or partly cloudy or mostly cloudy, but I don't think that it was completely cloudy. My Aunt Shirley comes in and says, happy Wednesday to all. Blessings. Thank you so much for that. Happy Wednesday to you. My Aunt Lula then comes in and says, good evening, everyone. Georgetown was nice all day. Great to hear. Mr. Chris come back and said, please remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also share with everyone that you know. This is a vital time to get the information out, and sharing is caring. He's absolutely correct. Sharing is indeed caring. And so we right now, which that's my soundboard, we've had 25 people tune in, and we only have 8 likes. I don't know what's going on there, but if you are a part of the 17 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. Mr. Anthony comes in and says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Thad says, good evening, Joseph. I'm digging this weather. Glad to hear. Good evening to you. Keep those storms away from Jamaica. Well, for right now, they look to be in the clear for now, but things can change. Trail then comes in and says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. And that's all that we have. So let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, what in the world am I talking about? What do you mean the 4 locations outside of South Carolina? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then also Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about those locations is because we have people from those areas who tune in almost nightly to sometimes nightly. And so that's why we talk about them. But starting off first, like we always do, San Antonio first. You have low temperatures tonight at 71, high temperatures tomorrow at 96, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 72. There is indeed no precipitation. Yes, indeed, no precipitation is expected at this time, and no severe weather is either. No severe weather is expected either, and no excessive rainfall is as well. So you're good there. Raleigh being the next one, you have low temperatures tonight at 52, high temperatures tomorrow at 73, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 51. There is indeed no precipitation that is expected at this time, no severe weather that is expected at this time, and you probably guessed it, no excessive rainfall either. So for right now, we're on a good streak. We're on a good streak right now. Now, the latter half now, Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 51, high temperatures tomorrow at 69, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 50. No precipitation is expected at this time. No excessive rainfall is expected at this time either. And you probably are guessing, what about severe weather? If you guessed no severe weather, you would actually be correct. You would be very much correct. And then the final location being Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight at 64, high temperatures tomorrow at 90, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 64 as well. No precipitation, no excessive rainfall, no severe weather. So all locations right now are looking good with no excessive rainfall and no severe weather at all. And that's all that I have for them. So let's go on now and check out, first off, the top fans for tonight. Miss Chris at number 1, my Aunt Lula's at number 2, and then Thad's at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for tonight. If you want to be a top fan, you can. You just have to be a subscriber of the channel. You also have to go on and be here early and be active inside the chat, so more than just 1 or 2 messages. I don't see anything else inside the chat for us to talk about, so if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go on and do so. Hit the share button as well. Share it with all the people that you know. We're at 589 subscribers, trying to get to 600. We are 11 away from that main goal of 600 subscribers, so let's go on and get there. It's free. You can change your mind at any time if you ever want to, and sharing is caring. It takes about a couple of seconds to go on and just click the share button, share it with people that you know, or you can share it with people on social media, rather that be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or anything like that. That's all that I have, though, for Indeed tonight. So make sure that you are back here tomorrow morning for your Thursday morning forecast update. And I almost forgot, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening, meaning we are halfway through the week. Almost forgot about that. But I did in fact just do it. So that's great. Also, the drought monitor comes out tomorrow, so make sure that you're there as well, so you can go on and do your drought predictions, because that will be indeed tomorrow. And if you want to send me any pictures, you can by sending them to scweather360@gmail.com. That is all, though. I will be back tomorrow morning. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and make sure that you're back here tomorrow and hit those two buttons.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk, and I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk, and you talk that talk, you knocks me out off of my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. How, 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 how. How, 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 how. Hey, hey. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk and talk that talk, you knocks me out off my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down off of your feet. How, 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 how.
Hey, hey.